Hello everybody, and I hope that you are well. Today is Saturday, August 1st, and I thought that I would choose today to start a new vlog. I haven't done a vlog in a while, and I also haven't been doing a lot of leisurely reading, and I find that vlogs typically help me kind of incorporate reading into my daily life. Now, it's not that I haven't actually been doing any reading in my daily life, but it's more that most of the reading that I'm doing right now is kind of in preparation for my internship and for my classes, in things that are really designed to help make me a better clinician. And so although those are things that I certainly can't share here, I haven't really figured out how to share that in a way that is interesting to other people. So I simply haven't. But before I get into the books really quick that I'm going to be prioritizing over the next couple of days and in this vlog, I want to tell you that I'm sitting here with the DSM-5 because I am finally getting ready to actually add some psychology videos to my channel. Now, adding videos about psychology tends to make me a little bit nervous because there's a whole lot of reasons actually. I'm not going to get into them, but either way, I'm just going to jump right in, starting kind of slow with some informational videos on personality disorders, particularly cluster B personality disorders. So those are going to be antisocial personality disorder, borderline personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and narcissistic personality disorder. And I'm really excited to talk about those in particular because I think that personality disorders are some of the most commonly stigmatized disorders and also the most misunderstood. There's so much fallacious information out there about different personality disorders and what that means about people. And I'm really fascinated also just by personality disorders in general and what it's like for people who experience them or who live with them, and kind of like the implications of all of that. And so I'm excited to start with, providing information about that and see kind of where I decide to go from there. So I'm really excited. Beyond that, I do quickly want to tell you about the books that I'm going to be reading and talking about in this vlog. The first is Wildcat by Jp Harker. Now this book is one that the author sent me in exchange for a review, and I feel horrible because he sent me this months ago and I've just had so much going on that I haven't been able to finish it, but I need to prioritize and stop making excuses. So I am focusing on this book and I am enjoying it. It's really kind of a new genre for me, and so I was kind of intimidated by it a little bit, afraid that some of the verbiage and terminology would be inaccessible to me, but I like the way that he's written it. It's very accessible even for somebody new to the genre, and it's also a male author writing a female perspective, which sometimes that doesn't work out very well. But there are some interesting things I think that the author talked about as far as it comes to the things that the female character experiences, and I actually was kind of surprised that he thought to mention those things, and I liked that he did. So I'm really excited to see how that is handled going forward in the book. And then the other book that I'm going to be prioritizing is The English Patient by Michael Andate, and that is because I am doing a buddy read, and we have to finish this by August 15th so we can all get together for a book discussion, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, and I am liking this book so far. I'm not very far into it, but the writing is really beautiful and has a lot of depth, and it's a writing style that I tend to particularly enjoy. So I'm hoping that will bode well over time. But beyond that, I will keep you updated and go from there. I wanted to take a moment and do a quick update, and I'm still, it's a little bit different format for me. I'm still in my pajamas because I was reading earlier this morning and then now getting ready for the day. But I wanted to quickly update you while it's fresh in my mind. So I read a little bit of two of my books, so Wildcat and The English Patient. And so Wildcat, I don't think I've ever really gone into yet what that book is really about, but it's following this girl named Rhea. Sorry, this earring is impossible to get in. And so Rhea is part of this tribe of people, and in her tribe she is a warrior. So in this tribe, both the men and the women fight. Women typically don't reach the same kind of status as men. as warriors, but they do engage in battle as well. And so Rhea really identifies as, you know, a warrior, as a protector of her people. She really likes it. She likes going to battle. She likes kind of getting involved in kind of like the rougher stuff. And so that's a really big part of who she is. Now, so far in the book, we're starting to learn a little bit about this culture, this tribe's culture, kind of their system of belief, their values we're being introduced to through interactions through Rhea. And also Rhea just got married, and so we're talking kind of about the discrepancy between her desires in her life. So, you know, she definitely identifies as a warrior and as a fighter, but at the same time, she does also recognize within herself the desire to also kind of have some of the more traditionally feminine things as well. You know, she enjoys being a wife. She, you know, enjoys thinking about having kids. So it's kind of like her figuring out how to balance those two things that she wants, you know, especially because once she becomes a mother, you know, really her ability to be a warrior changes and is kind of diminished. So we're talking about that. So what's happening with the plot is that this group of people, you know, they're the kind of people who, like, although they do battle, they don't seem to battle unless it's absolutely necessary to protect, you know, their lands and their people. But now their lands are being infiltrated by a group of people who are from a different area, and they don't live by the same values, and they don't have the same goals for battle. And so basically this is actually a group of people who are just wanting to take over the land. And so they're going to have to go to war with them, but they're a little bit overconfident because, you know, this other group of people that they're going to be fighting against have entirely different battle tactics. And instead of engaging in that with a curious manner, they kind of just dismiss that. And so it's kind of easy to see that they're going to have some problems because basically this group of people has just like career wars, or not career wars, but basically they have wars as a way of living. So it's interesting to see how they kind of just dismiss that. And so you can kind of know that's not going to end well. But Rhea's people are very confident people. They're not concerned about any of that, including Rhea herself. So they're preparing to enter into battle, one of the first battles with this group of people. And Rhea is finding herself in a particularly difficult situation because she just found out that she is very likely pregnant. So she's feeling a little bit conflicted about what to do. For starters, she doesn't exactly know for sure that she's pregnant, although by the time she goes into battle, she's sure. But she, you know, it's very new, so anything could happen, and she doesn't want to, you know, potentially harm her baby, but she also doesn't want to not fight and defend for her people. So she's a little bit conflicted about what to do. She decides that she is going to not tell anybody and just go into battle with them. But she kind of mentions that she's a little bit concerned that, you know, the gods might judge her or punish her. Beyond this, before battle, she comes in contact with this man that she finds in the woods, and he kind of predicts that some bad things are going to happen, not just in, you know, battle, but also with her, what he says will be her son. So, you know, at first she kind of just brushes that off, but where we're at now, it's post-battle, and she's kind of starting to wonder if maybe there's some validity in that, because as it turns out, when they went into battle, they did not do very well. So this other group of people that they're fighting against, their battle style is the kind where they build a blockade with shields, and they have the short swords, and they stab people through the shields, and that's an effective strategy because it's very hard to infiltrate them. So they're basically killing a bunch of Rhea's people without really losing many of their own, which is very ineffective for Rhea and her people, and they've never had to figure out how to strategize against that battle tactic because they are typically the fighters who, you know, go into battle, open battle, you know, with long swords and just fight that way. And so what happens is Rhea's people end up having to flee, which brings a lot of shame for them because they're not a people that usually have to flee. They're usually always the winners. And so sounds like they're going to struggle trying to kind of like conceptualize what that means for them, but also how to strategize effectively against this group of people. So it'll be interesting to see how that works going on. And then also I'm reading The English Patient, and I did read a chapter in that, and I don't really know what to think about this so far. At first, I really enjoyed the way that the author writes and describes certain things, particularly about the broken down hospital where the nurse and the English patient are existing. But when we start talking about the English patient's history and how he got to be where he is, that's a little bit less enjoyable for me so far because of the way that it's written. So basically the English patient was a pilot and his plane burned and crashed in the desert. And so this group of native people saved him. They, kind of took him in, wrapped him up in blankets and salves, and somehow between that and now we don't know yet how he got to the hospital, but he's talking about his time with this group of people, and he also talks about how he's not really sure how much of it is real and how much of it isn't. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I'm only a chapter in, so I can't really judge yet. And I am going to probably read through that one pretty quickly because I'm reading it with a group of people together, and so we have to have it done by August 15th. So I will keep you updated as I know more. Hello everybody, I just wanted to give a quick update. Today is Friday, August 7th, and I look a hot mess because I honestly haven't even combed my hair today. Probably couldn't even oh, that's not that bad. But nobody's here, so who's gonna see me? One of the benefits of quarantine, right? So, I have a couple quick updates to share with you on books that I'm reading. The first is The English Patients. I've gotten a couple more chapters into this and I'm really starting to enjoy it more. We're learning more about the main character, Hannah, who is the nurse taking care of the English patient, learning a little bit about how her experience throughout the war has been, how it's really kind of traumatized her and how she's coping with that, and kind of also her feelings for the English patient. Also, there's a new character that has been introduced to us, so it's interesting to kind of see what's going to happen with their relationship. Now, I also received a book in the mail today that I ordered in the beginning of July but didn't receive. Sent an email complaining to them, telling them I haven't received it, and then I got it the next day. So that is The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House. This is a series of essay collection. This is an essay collection by, oh gosh, I didn't look up how to say her name properly before this video, but Audra Lord is my best guess, but before I do another video, I'll make sure to double check the pronunciation. But anyways, this is, yeah, just a short book full of her essays, and I have to say I have been having amazing luck with new to me authors throughout July and August. I love these short editions. They give me the opportunity to kind of check out a person's writing style before committing to kind of like a longer book. And I'm really enjoying that. Audra Lord's writing is really appealing to me in a way that I'm not entirely sure yet how to verbalize, but basically I think she kind of appeals to a part of me that I would say most writing doesn't. So it's a little bit, it's not that her writing isn't intellectual, it is, but it's much deeper than that. And she's one of those authors that I started reading her work and I just felt it, man. So yeah, I really am looking forward to reading more. I've only read 2 of the essays. I've read Poetry is Not a Luxury and Uses of the Erotic. And then next will be The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House. Uses of Anger, Women Responding to Racism, and Learning from the 1960s. So I'm really happy that I got this. I'm really enjoying her writing. And again, these little short versions of books have been really helpful to me in a number of ways. That's how I started getting into James Baldwin, and I loved his writing too. And then also, the short books, because I am so busy and I read textbooks so much that sometimes it's hard for me to commit to like a big, book, be it a novel or a nonfiction book. And so when I picked up that short book by W.E.B. Du Bois, I also fell in love with his writing. And so I'm so thankful because, in July and the beginning of August, I have been introduced to not only some, solid writers, but some writers who have the potential to become, I think, some of my lifelong favorite. It's that serious. And also exposing me even more to ideas on kind of a deeper level than I have explored before. So So yeah, I'm really enjoying, even though I'm not doing as much reading, the reading that I am doing is very deep hitting, and that's what's important to me. So yes, I'm having a great time. I don't know how many more clips in this vlog I will have, because I try not to keep them too long and I talk way too much in each clip. But either way, if this is the end of it, look forward to probably like, I don't think I'm going to be doing a July wrap up. I think I'm going to be doing just an August wrap up, but I'll definitely be talking about some of these books in more detail and my final thoughts on it. But that is all. Hello everybody, today is Saturday, August 15th, and I thought I would just jump on really quick to give you a quick update. This is going to be the last clip of this vlog for real this time. And so I don't really have a lot of reading progress to update you with. I haven't been reading that much, unfortunately. Well, I've been reading a lot, but not stuff that I'm sharing here, not, booktube fun book stuff. But I thought what I would do is end this vlog just by going over and kind of recapping what I'm reading right now and kind of any updates on my progress and what I'm thinking of it so far. So I do want to also apologize ahead of time because I have people over right now, and so it's probably going to be a little bit loud if they start talking a lot. And then also I have very loud frogs right outside the pond in my window, or right outside my window in the pond. I don't know if you can hear them. But yes, so anyways, I picked up Post-Colonial Love Poem by Natalie Diaz, and I am really enjoying this so far. Natalie Diaz does a lot of stuff with her writing that I really enjoy. She uses the language, and she uses multiple languages in ways that are very interesting to me, and always make me wonder why she chose to use that language in that position or for that thing. It gives me a lot to kind of go and research and kind of understand what she's really doing there. She also uses a lot of nature in her writing and a lot of anatomy, which is something that I'm finding I really enjoy in poetry. I really like when people use anatomy and use it to kind of say something even deeper. I really enjoyed the same thing that Jenny Shih did in Eye Level. She also used a lot of anatomy, and I really liked that too. So I'm looking forward to getting into this a little bit more. I've only read a few poems, only page 13, so yes, I'm excited about this one. I am almost finished with The Master's Tools Will Never Dismantle the Master's House by Audra Lorde. This is a collection of essays in which she talks about a number of different things, including like her experience in the feminist movement, and also, all kinds of issues related to that, like race. One of my favorite essays so far was Uses of Anger, Women Responding to Racism, and I really enjoyed that because she's really talking about how, historically speaking, white women have excluded women of color, black women, really all kinds of people. And I would say that that is even kind of true in today's wave of feminism. It's getting a lot better, no doubt, for sure. But white women still kind of ignore a lot of other voices. And so she's talking about that. But she's also talking about how white women often dismiss and kind of defend and deflect against the anger that black women express, and how dangerous that is, or maybe not dangerous, but how unproductive that is, and how if we, instead of, deflecting and defending, we really kind of interacted with that anger and we kind of took on responsibility, how things could be so much better. There's so much more to say about that I'm really grossly underrepresenting her arguments here, but I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to reading more of Audra Lorde. And as if I weren't reading enough already, I decided to randomly pick up another book that I recently got, and that is Untrue by Wednesday Martin. This is really interesting so far. She's talking about kind of misconceptions of women's sexuality, and right now the focus is kind of on monogamy, and how, monogamy is a standard, but not all people, really necessarily want monogamous relationships. And so she's talking about the different kinds of alternatives, like, non-monogamous relationships or polyamory and that kind of thing. And she's talking about her experience going to some kind of non-monogamous workshop or something like that. So I'm enjoying this so far. It's interesting. I don't really have much to say about it yet. I am continuing on with The English Patient by Michael Andate. Haven't gotten any further. I was supposed to do a book chat with my friends who are reading this with me this weekend, but that got postponed. So then I was like, oh, well then I can procrastinate even longer. So I have to finish this. I am liking it okay so far, but it is a little bit boring to me, to be honest with you. But I hope that it continues to get better, or at least to maintain my interest. So I don't really have much to say about this yet either. And finally, I'm still getting through Wildcat, book 1 of the Colonial saga by Jp Harker, and I feel so bad because he sent this book to me in exchange for review months ago. And I have still not finished it. So I am a very bad book reviewer, a very bad booktuber, and I need to get my ass in gear and just finish this. I am making my way through and I am enjoying it. It's just that I'm not always in the mood for fantasy, or I get caught up in other things. And if I'm making excuses, I'm a procrastinator. That's what it is. The second I know I have to do something, I procrastinate the heck out of it. So I just need to step up and take accountability for that. I am enjoying this book though, and I am going to make sure that I prioritize this book going forward. So those are the books that I am still reading through. I will at least have enough books to do an August wrap-up, which is really exciting for me. And I don't have anything else for you right now, but I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And as always, please be well until then.